Good Sunday morning, folks. As you can see, we have weather moving in, but I just wanted to give you an update. So I went last night and I went online and I took a test called the raads-r online, and out of a possible 240, I scored a 158, which means that anything above 130 is considered autistic. So I guess I'll be talking to my VA doctor when I see him in June about that. Yeah, so there's the proof. I kind of watched Orion Kelly and a couple other YouTubers, and it resonated with me a lot of what Orion was saying, and I was like, well, I think I might be. And so I took that test, and trust me, the test, I had more questions about the questions. Like, it had one question, like, do you prefer to go to a restaurant by yourself or with someone? And I'm like, I never go out, ever. So that question wasn't relevant to me, right? I'm like, I never go out. And if I do, on the very rare occasions that I do go out, it is normally with family, and it's exhausting, right? The smells, the sounds, all the people there, trying to figure out the menu, right? And looking at the menu and going, well, yeah, that looks okay, that looks okay. And it's very, very hard for me to make a decision on what to eat because I'm inundated with choices, right? And I'm not sure. You go to these restaurants, you're not sure, is the kitchen clean? Are they using fresh food? I mean, these are all the questions I have, right? These are the questions that go through my mind before I ever get to the restaurant, right? Because normally, if my family is going to a restaurant, I will look up online the menu and determine, do I even want to eat there, or do I just want to like get a drink and maybe dessert and just you know yeah. So thought I'd share. Um, these are these are issues that some of us have, right? We don't like large crowds. We don't like I very rarely I very rarely, I mean, very, very rarely go to any kind of big social function. I'll give you an example. And I think I've talked about this before. So with the last company I was with, they had something simple, right, which was called a company picnic, right? And I says, I need to get out, right? I need to be socially active, right? And this is a safe way to do it, is go to a company picnic with people I work with, right? Oh my God, no. Uh, to say that I had like an emotional meltdown and had to leave. And even one of the ladies there asked me, she says, "What happened? What happened?" And I'm like, "No, no, I'm never coming to another one of these. No." Okay. And it wasn't anything that anyone did. Okay. It was the fact that there's kids running around. Uh, there's 150 different conversations going on. Uh, no, the organization was all over the place, right? It was just it was all over the place, right? Like they were supposed to have this thing called bingo, which I wanted to do that because my mom and me, we used to go to the bingo hall before she passed away, and we used to enjoy that, right? So I was thinking, well, I enjoy bingo. Uh, Maybe I'll go just for that, right? And when it came time for the bingo, they were sending me from one pavilion to another pavilion, back to I mean, I was being gaslit all over the place, right? And I get it, right? I'm a single woman. The guys there are there with their families, and I'm not exactly the most sociable. So I get it, right? Up here, I get it. But um, I had to leave, so I left early, right? And it was just, this is just one of the things, right? Um, I go to a family get together, right? Another good example. I go to a family get together. Let's say we're having like a picnic somewhere, right, with the family. Okay? This is less people, so it's a little bit easier for me to process up here what's going on, and it's a little bit easier for me to deal with, and I do okay. But again, I'm not the most sociable, right? I'll get like with one or two other family members and be talking to them about things, and that works okay. Okay. But uh one of the things with my family is they all seem to love pork. I can't stand pork. I don't like the taste of it. I don't, the texture is off, right? I don't, no. I don't eat anything with pork. I mean, it just, I can't, right? So, whenever we have a family get together, I normally have to bring something that does not have pork in it, right? Uh, because they'll buy the pork hot dogs, they'll buy, pork barbecue, uh, and it just, I don't eat pork. Okay, it's just an ongoing thing, right? So for me, this RADS test really just clarified what I already was starting to suspect, right? And let's be honest, right? I'm 61. I've have this, when I get overwhelmed, I have this tendency to explode emotionally, and don't be downrange. Um, and I don't physically assault people. I want to be clear about that. I never physically assault anyone, but you're going to get it verbally. You're definitely going to get it verbally when I go off, right? And then I have this fight or flight response, and normally I'll run away. And a lot of times when I run away, I also tend to cut all contact. Um, this is an ongoing thing through my life, right? This is uh, same thing with trucking, right? You have in trucking, you have dispatchers that they like to push your buttons. Okay, once they realize something upsets you or uh, disturbs you in any way, they like to push that button because they think it's funny. Okay, and you know, for me, it takes a day or two for me to process that and realize, oh yeah, okay, they were just pushing my buttons. One of the things that with trucking is sometimes you got to go find places. And one of the guaranteed things that's going to set me off is if you tell me, we'll just GPS it. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay? I need directions. All right? I'm not going to take the chance of having a 80-foot long to 85-foot long vehicle stuck on a road that it's not supposed to be on. Okay? And I'm not going to go down a road where I don't know is there low overpasses. I mean, I'm going to take my due diligence, right? My whole job is to make sure that I get the freight there in one piece safely. That's my whole job, right? Safely. So by safely, I mean I'm not going to run over anybody. I'm not going to hit anything. And I'm not going to bounce the freight around. Okay? That to me is like number one in my job. Safety. Okay? And when you tell me to GPS a location, if I can't pull it up on the Google satellite, I'm not going to go. And until I have good directions, right? Now, normally I can get those type of directions from other truck drivers who've been to that location before, who I happen to have contact with, right? Or who work for the same company and they've been there, and so I'm able to do it that way. But that's a trigger. Okay? I mean, yes, I have maps, of course, right? I think every truck driver out there will tell you they do have maps. Yes, I do have a GPS, of course. I don't rely on it. Okay? And so, I've left jobs at the drop of a hat because the atmosphere just got to the point where whatever dispatcher I was with was, one, not giving me freight, two, pushing my buttons, or three, and this is my big trigger, they laughing about my difficulties, right? It's nothing to laugh about. No. Okay? So yeah, this just to me confirms what I've dealt with in the employment realm for the last 40 years, right? Uh, doesn't mean anything's going to change, but it's nice to know, hey, I'm not the issue. The issue is my brain. I, d- I don't I don't see things like other people do. I see details in things that other people don't even notice, right? But at the same token, and Orion is dead on this. I'm good at some things, uncoordinated at others, right? Uh, some of the simplest things will just baffle me, okay? Especially socially. I'm just baffled, right? And it'll normally take me a day or two for it to roll around in my head before I finally click. Okay, well, that's what happened. Let me put that file in that little cabinet, right? Um, so yeah, I thought I'd share. Bicycle